All right, my amazing students, welcome to the course on the secrets on how to memorize and use phrasal verbs like a native. And remember, when I say like a native, the point is not to sound more American or more Canadian. No, that's not the point. Sounding more native, sounding American is fine. But remember, el punto, the point is to transmit our thoughts and ideas clearly to others. De una manera más eficaz, con más énfasis, o ser más suaves a veces, más educados. Algo que es difícil hacer en español, porque en español no tienes muchos asuaviadores. You don't have too many softeners, right? So that's usually the point of phrasal verbs. And they're very specific. So we're going to go over what not to do, lo que no se debe hacer. We're going to go over the right way of doing it, una receta secreta, cómo hacerlo. Vamos a hacerlo juntos. We're going to do it together to show you that it really works. And we're going to do it together. We're going to do some exercises. And then we're going to go over some testimonials of people who they used these methods and they saw results, right? So if you're learning English as a personal goal, for a career, because hay muchos phrasal verbs in business English, inglés para negocios. Hay muchos phrasal verbs en el habla cotidiana. Native English speakers use lots and lots of phrasal verbs. Y muchos de estos phrasal verbs, some of these have different meanings. So how are you going to remember? All right, let's start, my students. So the wrong way to learn phrasal verbs: in listas. You don't want to do that, right? So, primeramente, what are phrasal verbs? Well, we know phrasal verbs are a combination of verbs and prepositions. Los prepositions vienen siendo el pegamento del idioma, right? Down, up, out, in. And eso es importante. This is important because los prepositions componen más o menos un 33% de cada conversación. Right, so if someone is speaking, va a haber varios in, on, out, of. Y eso en sí es necesario aprender. You need to learn these. But when they are placed together with a verb, like walk away, step down, cut down, spread out, these become more important because now you're using it in a structure to communicate, right? So la manera equivocada. The wrong way of learning these is, okay, today vamos a coger todos los phrasal verbs that have the word away. Or, hoy vamos a aprender una lista de phrasal verbs que tienen la palabra down or out. No. Or, hoy vamos a aprender todos los phrasal verbs que tienen el verbo look. No. Why? Because this confuses the students. Eso va a confundir los estudiantes. It's hard to remember. Look ahead, look over, todos tienen look. No, right? And segundo, it's not how the brain processes language. So your brain no organiza las palabras y las frases en orden de si tienen la misma palabra o no. No, they order it, lo procesan de una manera diferente en images, stories, right? Hay que usar otras cosas porque esta no es la solución, ¿ya? And la parte desafortunada, the unfortunate part, is that most courses teach this, right? That's why it's here. I got this from the internet. But this is what you're not supposed to do, all right? Para hacerlos entender lo que es igual hacer esto, de aprender en listas. Let's say that you want to cook something, but they only give you the ingredients: rice, soda, barbecue sauce, etc. Well, you don't know what to do with it. What are you going to do? They give you a list of the phrasal verbs, of the ingredients, but you don't know how to put it together, right? Not only that, but you don't know what to do with other contexts. No sabes si puedes usarlo en diferentes contextos. ¿Cuáles contextos puedes usarlos? Estos ingredientes es igual. Te dan una lista de ingredientes y no sabes cómo ponerlos juntos, how to put it together, how to use it with other ingredients, to create different dishes, it's almost impossible. So, what do you need? You need the recipe, una receta, right? The recipe helps you to know how to make a delicious dish. En este caso sería un delicious phrasal verb in the right context, with the right meaning. And this is important because muchas veces perdemos la confianza de usar una frase nueva porque no sabemos si nos va a salir bien o no, aunque la sepas. Y ahí nos bloqueamos. That's when we get blocked. So we're getting blocked for two reasons. One, maybe you don't remember the phrasal verb. And two, you remember the phrasal verb, but you're not sure if you can use it or not. Oh, can I use it here or there? Does it make sense? Right? So you want to use it. This is a secret recipe. Stories, translation, pero no palabra por palabra, and exercises. So stories, lo cual encaja context, contexto is the same thing. Right? Translation and exercises. This is the secret recipe, and we're going to do it together, my students, all right, to show you how this really does work. And to get started, I want to give you two phrasal verbs, right? The first phrasal verb is go for, and the second one is cut down on. If you know these, that's fine, right? If you know these two phrasal verbs, it's okay. My point is just to show you an example. And if you don't know it, better. We know go for, right? Quizás. Oh, I'm going to go for ir para, not really. Cut, cortar, abajo. What? Cut down on. What is that? So, I'll give you a moment. Try to think of what it means. No lo busques todavía. Just try to think of what it means. Okay? Now, it's a little difficult. Pero usemos primero el primer ingrediente. De la receta secreta. Story. Okay. Let's watch this story together. And just by the story, you're going to understand what go for means. And you will also understand what cut down on means. Let's watch the story together. What can I get you today, sir? Yes, I'll go for the pizza, please. Okay, let's watch that again. Okay, would you like some soda with that? No thanks. I'm trying to cut down on sugar. Okay, veamos otra vez. One more time. What can I get you today, sir? Yes, I'll go for the pizza, please. All right, based on this context or story, what do you think go for means? Right? Maybe order, ordenar, right? And you know because you saw the story, I'll go for the pizza. It's like, I want the pizza, right? And so this part's important, right? Because this is why it's also important to have someone to help you, right? This is a secret recipe. And yes, you can do it by yourself, and that's fine. But what is the difference between go for and order or want? ¿Por qué usar go for instead of using want? Or order, de ordenar, order. So it's got to do with culture too. So phrasal verbs help us not only to sound more native, but it helps us to be specific and to be more native. And remember, to be more native is to use the language effectively. Go for tiene un sentimiento de aventura, de que quizás es algo nuevo que estás probando, un sentimiento de como, bueno, por lo general no cojo esto, pero sabes, I'm gonna go for the pizza. Por lo general quizás no te guste la pizza. You know what? I'm gonna go for the pizza. So, go for tiene ese sentimiento que order, like I'll order the pizza, or I want the pizza, does not have. And so this is something that only a native can tell you. No cualquier nativo, porque los nativos usan esto sin pensarlo. Tiene que ser alguien entrenado, someone who's trained. I'm trained, right? That's why I'm teaching you this, of course. Or some teacher to explain to you, well, you know what? Why go for it, teacher? Well, y ahí te explican. Well, go for it tiene ese sentimiento de aventura, algo nuevo, o quizás estabas indeciso al principio. Yeah, I'll go for the pizza, right? It's got that flavor of spontaneity, de algo espontáneo, que no puedes coger con solo la palabra ordenar. I'll order a pizza. I'll take a pizza. Okay? Very good. So now you know just by context, por contexto, what go for means, right? Let's go down to the next one. Cut down on. Significa cortar. Let's watch it again. What can I get you today, sir? Yes, I'll go for the pizza, please. Okay, would you like some soda with that? No thanks. I'm trying to cut down on sugar. Cut down on. So he doesn't want soda. Why? I'm trying to cut down on sugar. What does it mean? What does cut down on mean? Disminuir, right? Reducir, maybe. So now you know. And cut down on usually is used with food or habits, hábitos. I'm trying to cut down on watching television. I'm trying to cut down on eating pizza. I'm trying to cut down on sugar. I'm trying to cut down on coffee. You see? So, la diferencia entre cut down on y reduce es que reduce tiene un sentimiento científico o muy formal. Cut down on habits. More than anything. Okay? You see? Now you know just by context. Just by context. Isn't that amazing? Now let's go to the next one. Translation. Using translations is going to be the second step. Why? Because even though, aunque, you can't translate it word for word, you need to know what it means. And translating it and having someone help you to translate it will help you to understand the context and how to transition into English, transicionarte al inglés del español, right? So you have this here. Voy a pedir el bistec de 40 onzas. I'm going to go for the 40-ounce steak. Again, it is important to have someone to help you explain to you what go for is for. Puedes hacerlo solo. You can go on the internet. What's the difference between go for? Pero no siempre te van a dar la respuesta. Maybe there's a lot of different answers, people who give their opinions. Hay muchas personas que no son nativos y escriben artículos de ciertas palabras que no son ciertas. So you need to be careful. Si lo vas a hacer solo and you want to know the difference between the phrasal verb and the regular word, then you need to be careful. Okay? Or maybe ask your native friend, which is good, but maybe he won't know the answer because it's subconscious for him. Para él es todo intuición en su cerebro sin pensarlo. Así que a él quizás se le dificulta explicarlo. But aún así, what have we seen so far? Hemos visto story, right? Story and translation. And you can do it the other way around. Puedes hacer la traducción primero y después la historia, or the story first y después la traducción. Both are fine. All right? Y la importancia de la historia es que puedes ver el contexto. You can watch the context. You can see what it means. Sometimes without knowing the translation. And the the advantage of translation is for you to understand the function of it clearly, right? Clearly. Okay, very good. So go for and cut down on. Great. Now, the next step to memorize and use phrasal verbs like a native is to use exercises. And so what you can do is have someone or you yourself create some questions. Hey, what are you doing? What are you going to order today? And you answer it. Tú mismo te lo respondes. I'm going to go for the 40-ounce steak. I'm going to go for the burger, la hamburguesa. Right? Algo de aventura, que como que es algo nuevo, algo grande quizás, etc. Right? What will you do to improve your health? Usando la segunda. This one. Cut down on. You see? So, what will you do to improve your health? Ahí tú lo respondes. I'm gonna cut down on boom. right? 3, cut down on. No te olvides del on. Great. So that's 1, exercises. 2 is search for several sentences using the phrasal verb. Y algo que a mí me encanta hacer es, tú puedes ir, por ejemplo, aquí. Let's go to un website que se llama playphrase.me. It's a great website if you want to search for movie scenes. And you can type, for example, here, I'm going to put cut down on, and we can see how it's used.
And you've got to cut down on the cognac.
No more beer, but I can't cut down on food.
And the new cartridge is cut down on jamming.
You cut down on greasy foods and chocolate.
You cut down on greasy foods and chocolates. You see?
I guess I can afford that if I cut down on my beer.
I cut down on my beer. Habits. And if we go for, va a ser un poquito difícil de encontrar because it's very general. También tiene varias funciones, right? Maybe we go for the, it's gonna be tough. Large, maybe if I put large, because sometimes it's used with large. No. Yeah, no. Go for it is going to be tough. But el punto is you can use this website. Another website you can use is youglish.com. Youglish is one that you can use. Cut down on. Y eso te muestra escenas de YouTube.
Is unabashedly anti-Islam. Her National Front Party wants to drastically cut down on immigration into the country.
2. We cut down on our labor force.
Right? So here, and the good thing is that you can see how it's used in different contexts. Because yes, it's usually used with habits, but if you watch videos, you can see, well, sometimes it's used in politics. Sometimes it's used in this context. Y eso te va a ayudar a saber, tu cerebro va a observar esta información, and you're going to know exactly when and how to use it, right? Very good. So let's continue to step 3. Step 3 is create your own story with the new phrases. Crea tu propia historia o tu propio diálogo usando las frases. So here I made a dialogue. Es más, puedes pedirle a ChatGPT que te lo crea. ChatGPT, that's what I did. So, good morning, Mocha. The usual today. So el barista le está hablando a Mocha, right? We can do that. Let's do it together. Yo soy el barista y tú eres Mocha. Okay, let's do that. Good morning, Mocha. The usual today. A splendid choice. Trying something new today, huh? Great. Hey, Mocha, I'll go for the new chocolate frappe. Heard it's good. Great job. And now we can switch. Now you can hear me say it. So you go first. I think I'll go for the caramel macchiato instead of the regular black coffee today. Yeah, I decided I need to cut down on the strong stuff. My doctor advised me to cut down on caffeine a bit. Oh, tempting. Maybe next time when I'm not trying to be good. Boom. So now, a ti jamás se te olvida, you're never going to forget, go for and cut down on, right? And that's the way you got to do it. That's the way you got to do it, my students. So these are the methods you need to use. Let's look at how Claudia, I want to show you a few of my private students. So the good thing about having classes, teniéndolo estructurado, is because, okay, now you know, well, okay, I know the secret recipe, stories, translation, and exercises. That's fine, teacher. And yes, you can do it by yourself, right? It's fine. It is going to take time if you do it by yourself. It is easier. But at the same time, you might think, oh, teacher, quizás yo ya sabía esto. Algunos quizás ya sabían esto. La mayoría no, pero digamos que sí. Entonces, in that case, you don't need to learn this. What you need is a coach. A tutor, un coach que te pueda formular esas cosas, que sepa las que son más usadas, las que sepan el contexto, ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre el phrasal verb y la traducción regular? ¿Cuál es la cultura detrás de este phrasal verb? ¿Cuál es el significado real? ¿Cómo puedo usarlo? ¿Cuándo no debería usarlo? All these things are what make phrasal verbs one of the most difficult things to learn. Eso es lo que lo hace más difícil aprender. So these students of mine, which are Claudia, Brenda, Ana Paula, Carolina, these students of mine, they've been able to use these methods de una manera estructurada, structured, ya preparado, listos para ellos como a delicious meal, ya preparado. Y veamos lo que ellos piensan al respecto. Vamos a ver lo que dice Claudia. What do you think about these methods? Do you feel that they helped you remember the phrases?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. Why?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I think that this method helped me to remember, but remember in English, not in Spanish. So I think that it's important to think in English and not to translate. So it's different.
So we see here that she was able to remember and memorize what she learned. Let's look at what Carolina says.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, I think it's a good idea because when I was reading in Spanish, I just realized what is the meaning of the phrasal verbs. I like the way you did it.
I like it so much because it's the real life. So I think it's very good because you can put in practice.
Very good. So we see that they love it. Let's see here as well what, and here we can see what Brenda says as well.
Yeah, I like it because I have for example, the meaning or the translation, but the way that we can use it with this example or with these histories that can help us to try to understand it. I think in my case, this helped me to trying to memorize, to use in my daily conversation.
Very good. So we see it's a method that works. So my students, if you are someone that doesn't have a lot of time to, voy a crear mi historia, voy a buscar los phrasal verbs, I want to make my exercises, you have to do it. Esa es la receta secreta. You already know what it is, right? But you want someone to help you. And remember, this applies to and works with not only phrasal verbs, but also idioms. It works with grammar. And esos solo son 3 métodos de 40 métodos que nosotros usamos en nuestras clases, right? We use 40 different methods. And they all work fantastically, right? So if you're tired of trying to learn phrasal verbs and not remembering them, if you don't have time to do it by yourself, then it's fine. Book a call with me. You can schedule a call acá abajito, pues en el enlace de abajo. Book a call. It's a free call. It's going to be with me or my assistant, and we're going to tell you if the course is good for you or not. And this is only for students who are intermediate. Y si dudas si estás intermedio no, book the call. And so for students who have personal and business goals to learn these phrasal verbs, to learn idioms, to memorize grammar de una manera divertida, y si están cansados de la manera tradicional de aprender, we're here to help you. This is proven to work. Está basado en los estudios más recientes de la lingüística, más reciente de la neuroscience. Y pues estoy bien anhelando el poder hablar con ustedes al respecto. Y la manera que se hace, you can book your call, is by going here. Let's go to one of the videos para mostrarte un ejemplo. And you go right here, and the link right here, you're going to click the link, aplasta el enlace, and it'll take you to where you can schedule your call with me. If you have any questions, send me a message through Instagram. And yeah, for those of you who want to use these methods by yourself, quieres usar estos métodos solitos, espero que les vaya excelente. Y para los que quieren book a call with me para ver cómo nosotros podemos ayudarles a ustedes a hablar inglés sin bloquearte, fluidamente, a memorizar vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and idioms and grammar, then send me a message. That's all for now, my students, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.